I'm so tired. Time for bed. Can you relate? You've been working your booty off, but you still wake up in the middle of the night wondering if you got that thing done or if you didn't. You can't remember. Maybe you're in a meeting with your boss and you feel like you've been doing all the things and they ask you about that one thing you didn't get to and now you feel super ashamed. Or maybe you want to take a vacation, you know it's the right thing to do, you know you need to set boundaries with work, but it just feels like way too much work to take that vacation. If that's how you feel, then this video is for you, my friends. Hey, welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time. My name is Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt. I'm a leadership and career coach. I'm also a manager in real life, so I know how this goes, and I love to help you get organized, plan your days, elevate your mindset, and just rock your career in leadership. But before I get started, I just want to let you know, please watch to the end of the video because I can't teach you every single thing I know about being proactive in leadership today. So I have a special surprise for you at the end of this video that you can check out to get more information if you want to learn about being a proactive and organized, highly performing leader. All right, now let's get started. So today I'm going to teach you 3 tips for being more proactive and highly organized so that you don't get that gut-wrenching feeling or that lump in your throat when somebody asks you about something you know you haven't gotten to. So these are some of my best tips for maintaining your sanity and staying organized and showing that you're proactive. My number 1 tip is to spend your time on things that are highly visible. So when you're spread thin as a professional or leader, it's really important to have discernment and filter through things that are most important. And one of the most important things are things that rise to the top of visibility, which means other people are going to notice if you don't get that thing done. So if you want to appear proactive and organized, this tip will hugely help you. So a highly visible thing is something that maybe other people can't do their work until you do your piece. So they're dependent on you getting your work done. So they will notice if you don't get your work done. So I would do that first. Another highly visible thing is something that your boss is asking about. So if you're in a one-on-one and they're asking about it, if your leader's asking about it, or if their boss is aware that you're doing the thing, that is also something that I would spend your time on. The other highly visible thing is something that your team is aware of, that if you did the thing, it would pay off dividends. So an example would be something that would be like a positive change for the team and help them in a positive way with maybe it's pretty easy or simple, but high impact. So let's just say you want to offer a reward for people staying late to accommodate when other team members call out for work, right? So maybe I'm giving a hospital example, right? We have shift work. So if somebody calls and they can't come into work and somebody else stays late to cover part of their shift, we'll give a meal card. So just to thank them for being accommodating and to allow them to buy some food when they're at work. So say you want to do this thing and it would be a brand new implementation and people have been asking about it and you're getting pinged about it over and over and over. What I would do is really start to identify those things that are easy, quick wins for your team that you could get done without a lot of effort, and they're highly visible. So the payoff is huge. They're like, oh, thank you, leader. We so appreciate this. This is amazing. And they're not having to bug you for it, and everybody wins. So those are some highly visible things. My second tip is to keep a separate specific list, like in OneNote, for example, is a great app to use, or you can use Microsoft Teams planner or task planner. Keep a list of action items that you've either been assigned to do or you volunteered for during meetings. So I feel like we're all good at just keeping a giant to-do list, right? That's something that most professionals or leaders do. But I think the difference here is that you are making a separate list of things you've promised people that you will accomplish by usually a certain date. So oftentimes at the end of meetings, there's action items and there's people that are assigned or you volunteered and said, I'm going to do that thing, right? So now people are hoping and expecting you to do that thing. And when you start not doing the thing, it becomes a pattern and people start to think, oh, they're just not organized, or oh, they're not proactive, or oh, I don't trust them. So something you can do to appear and to be more proactive and organized is to really pull out some of those promises or things you said you do in meetings, and keep a separate list in OneNote. And then I would sort of organize them by deadline, like when I said I'd have the thing done. And then I would schedule in my calendar, whether you use like Outlook or Google or whatever, I would schedule a time, maybe 30 minutes or 50 minutes during the week, to get those tasks done before they're due. That way, you get everything done, and people who notice that you said you were going to do these things will see you deliver on those things, and therefore you'll gain trust and appear and actually be proactive and organized. All right, my third tip for being proactive and organized is around the vacation question. So I often hear from people that say, like, it is so much work to go on vacation because I have to prepare for it. And then I also have like a mountain to come back to when I return from vacation. And it's just like, it's too hard and I don't enjoy going on vacation. And I don't know if you've ever been that person, and I've certainly been there, where I'm like finishing up things the night before I'm supposed to go on vacation. All of a sudden, it's after midnight. I'm sending my last email saying, I'm so sorry. I hope no one's seeing this until they start their workday. I just wanted to tie a few things in a bow before I left. And then I leave and I'm barely packed and it's frantic and I need the whole week of vacation to decompress from work until I can start to enjoy it. And by that time, I have to go back to work. So my recommendation is you do need to be proactive and plan for when you have a vacation coming up. So you can't expect to jam pack everything that you hope to accomplish within like the months or weeks before in that very week or like the night before you're going on vacation. So what I suggest is a couple weeks out from vacation, you start to make the week before your vacation lighter, which means sort of canceling or rescheduling any appointments that don't need to be during that week. So you can think about like, should I be taking this meeting before I'm out, or can this be rescheduled for the next week? For things like one-on-ones, I would try to keep those if you do host those with your team members, just to make sure they have the update. But what you could say is, I'm trying to be very prepared for when I go out of office. Do you think you could give me like a brief update via email, or perhaps like shorten it to a shorter meeting, like instead of an hour, do 30 minutes, be super efficient, and let them know like who can they reach out for help while you're gone, and what things are you expecting movement on while you're gone, and what things are you just like, it's okay, we'll talk about it when we get back. The other thing you can do is to start keeping like a digital file cabinet with work aids. So if you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, or during a time where you need something to be monitored, I would try to proactively create like a checklist of what the person covering for you, or who the person covering for you, what they need to know to be able to do that thing or replicate that thing. So essentially, how can you automate a task that you might delegate by creating a work aid or a checklist, so you don't have to spend time teaching or as much time teaching, or you don't have to worry like, if that thing's not looked at, something bad's going to happen. And the third thing is, when we've got all this work to be done, it's funny because when we are on vacation, we're like thinking, oh my gosh, it's crazy that we're gone for a week. But when you're in the office and somebody else is on vacation, typically, unless some really bad catastrophe happens, sometimes people don't even notice, or they go, oh, that week went so quick, you didn't really miss anything, because things usually work themselves out. So I would just say, ask yourself, like, do I need to do all the things and complete all these tasks before I leave? Or what would happen if I just waited for when I returned? Can I intentionally just say, like, that's not going to get done until I'm back, and talk with my leader and make sure that's fine? If it does need to get done, then you need to ask for help and say, hey, leader, would you mind looking at these things while I'm out, touching base, kind of here's the status, and just do like a brief report out. Really try to make that date before your vacation, let's say it's like a Friday, like actually enjoyable instead of like cramming every ounce in and just feeling like you don't have that work-life balance where you can actually shut off. So I would just do your best to communicate proactively, maybe the week before or during that week, like, I'm going out, here's what's going to get done and what people are monitoring, and here's just what's not getting done. The thing that is my biggest pet peeve are when team members tell you that they're out of office by sending you an email at like 6 or 7 p.m. at night on the Friday, and you're not working the weekend, so you don't see it until Monday morning, and they've, lo and behold, asked you to do something for them. Don't be that person. Nobody likes that person. All right, so these are my 3 really good tips for being a very proactive and highly organized leader. If you love learning about things like this, I would highly suggest that you check out my free 4-day Organized AF bootcamp that I'm hosting in the next few weeks. So check out the description and the link in the description below for to snag your spot for that free 4-day bootcamp. I'm so pumped to be hosting this challenge. I'm going to be deep diving every day and giving immense value every single day so that in those 4 days together, you can have a very organized work systems, which include organizing tasks, but as well as like your mindset and how you build systems around being proactive so that you can excel. And when you excel, look proactive, are proactive, you have more freedom in your work, you find it more enjoyable, and guess what? You can make more money. So I'm going to be diving all into that into the 4-day bootcamp. So check that out and snag your spots. All right. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. And I will see you in the next one. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.